Hello, welcome to Port Misery, a GH podcast where we try to figure out why everybody in Port Charles is so miserable this week. It's Tara, y'all. Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday. I tried to record this on Saturday. I recorded like 34 minutes of it, and I was like, I hate everything I'm saying. And I'm not even going to say anything different because I'm going off of notes. It just didn't feel right. I don't know why. And so there's a lost version of this episode that you'll never hear. Like I already deleted it. I was like, it's too late at night. I waited too long. But I'm back. I'm gonna get this done. I have so much to do today. I have like going to lunch with my friends. It's like a late birthday lunch, and then I have a meeting with my advisor, and I gotta work on my chapter. And so I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done, or the cycle starts where I'm just like, I'll see you guys in 6 months. Like, enjoy GH. I'll be sure to come back soon. But let's get into it. Please make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. It really helps motivate me. And I'm just very interested in what happens if I get to 500 YouTube subscribers. Like they're just like, yeah, if you get to 500, you need 1,000 to be monetized. So I'm not even trying to get to 1,000. No, I don't even want to get monetized. I hate commercials. Like I pay for YouTube Premium, so I'm not trying to inflict them on anyone. But I just like they're like, if you got to 500, you could do stuff with this channel. And I'm like, what stuff? What could I do? And they're like, you just got to find out. And so I don't know. If you're listening and you enjoy it, just hit the like and subscribe. Why not? It's free. It's free. That's the best part about it. It won't cost you a cent. But let's get into it. Straggler stories. I could talk about Shaylin because I'm gonna talk about them in like young adult hospital, but they had some black scene that I want to talk about because I did a live with Tracy. That's on Sunday Shift's channel. We keep trying to figure out how to collab so it says Port Misery too, so it'll like direct you to my channel as well. But I don't know. I figure if you're watching Sunday Shift, then you know it's me. You're like, yeah, it's you. And if you're not watching Sunday Shift, you should be watching Sunday Shift. It's like the best GH freaking podcast. So informative. Tracy and Tanya are the best. And they're there like every week, unlike me. Who's like, I'll see you in 6 months. And so, yes, if you go check out Sunday Shift's channel, me and Tracy did a live, I think Thursday, and we were talking about like characters who storylines where they kind of brought a character in to kill them, and Gregory was one of them. And so it's funny that we got this whack Chalon scene this week with that loose baby's empty carriage, and apparently they took the empty baby carriage to go see Gregory's off-screen bench. um, we didn't get to see the bench. I saw Jocelyn on a bench last week, but I don't know if it was Gregory's bench. And then I don't even know about Oscar's Rock. I don't know if that's still a thing. But we did get a Gregory's bench mention, and that the bench will be proud of Chalon for adopting this loose baby. Loved it. Also, there was a Serena and Lucy scene that I didn't care about. Nope, I didn't care about that. And now you got Dark Willow rising over here, which is the most controversial thing they've ever done. But it's definitely got more buzz on social media, either good or bad, than Michael and Serena. It's crickets on that. And so I'm like, if I'm not feeling Michael and Serena and other people aren't feeling it, like to the point where they're not even talking about not feeling it, they're just like, no, no, this is not important enough to hate. Then what do we do about Serena when y'all realize that we ain't feeling Michael and Serena? Like, what are we doing with her? Huh? Are they about to send her to Belize like they did homophobic Maria Santos before she unalived herself? She never made it to Belize. Is Serena gonna make it to Belize? Are we gonna find out there's whales in Belize that must be saved, and that's where we send Serena? Because what are we doing with Serena? Now, Michael's not her only option, right? She could go be with anybody. Like she could go be with Drew. She could go be with one of the generic white men they keep popping up on the show. But it seems like y'all's plan was to do Michael and Serena, and what you about to do, since no one cares about that. I posed that question to the writers. Moving on, let's go talk about Cody. Cody got bit by a horse because he can't just FaceTime this child, James, and feel better about it. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing with Cody? Like, what are we doing with Dominique's children? Essentially, like, what are we doing with Dominique's children? Because both of them are just out here. Both of them are just out here. You got Serena out here like, ooh, I trust Michael. I don't know why. While Lucy's like, you can't trust him. He's a Quartermaine. What has Michael done to Lucy to be untrustworthy besides buy stock from Maxie that she offered him? He didn't even seek these out. She called him like, hey, can you take these stocks? And he was like, bet. I remember the time you lied to a judge for me when I murdered my stepmother. I'm down to take these stocks from you, girl. I got you. And then you got Cody out here being Molly's kept boyfriend who lives in a horse house, and now he get attacked by the horses. What are we doing with Dominique's children? No clue. No clue. But let's go to actual storyline on this show, not just random bullshit that's happening. We got Anna's haunted hospital kicking off. Ghost Peter is trying to convince Anna to kill Bill, to kill Britt. Kill Bill would have been amazing, but to kill Britt. And he's putting on costumes and shit to accomplish this. He like popping up in like doctor scrubs and stuff, being like, can't trust these hoes. You can't trust none of these hoes. And the hoes being Felicia, by the way. It's Felicia. We can't trust her. But she immediately proves why Ghost Peter's correct, because Anna's there getting her phlebotomy because the show remembers she had cancer. And Britt is there with all these bats because they just forced her to be the equipment manager as like a condition to keep her job, which I still don't understand why you making her do all this side stuff when she be doing actual things on this show that are termination worthy and you don't care about any of them. You don't care about any of them. I'm like, Britt, put them bats down. Like, why you need to? They're not gonna do nothing. What they about to do if you don't pick up them bats? If you don't show up to practice, what are they gonna do? The answer is not a goddamn thing. That's what they about to do. So why are we even dealing with this? That's my question. Why are we dealing with this, Britt? Why are you dealing with this? You do not have to deal with this. You don't have to clean up labs. You don't have to pick up bats because they're not going to fire you because they didn't fire you when you faked your own death. They didn't fire you when you abandoned your job a second time. They didn't fire you when you were 2 hours late. And they're not about to fire you after you accosted a whole damn patient because Britt sees Anna. Britt sees Anna and she goes to ask Anna if Anna could help Lisa find out some shit about Cassius. And when Anna is rightfully like, bitch, no, I don't like you. I don't like your mother. I don't like your brother. I don't like any of y'all people. Britt literally starts popping off on her, putting her hands on her. That's a patient. That's just like some bitch you know. You at work. You doing this as a doctor. You are on the clock. So your actions reflect this hospital. She is getting phlebotomy here. So she is not a random, she's not the police. First of all, she's a police commissioner. So why you put your hands on the police commissioner? But like she's not even here as a police commissioner. She's here as a patient. And so you as a doctor who works at this hospital are putting your hands on a patient at this hospital and you still have a job. Put them bats down, Britt. Put the bats down. You don't need these bats. You don't need these bats because if you're not getting fired for that, you're not getting fired for nothing. You're not getting fired for anything. But she starts popping off at Anna because Anna's like, why would I help you or your crusty ass mom? I don't like either of you hoes. And she's just all like, why are you doing this to us? We are just people. You and your mama are like terrorists. Like, your mama's a terrorist and you terrorist adjacent. Stop acting like a victim. That's the thing that irritates me about Brit. And this is real because this was something that I had to learn in my like late mid to late 20s just because I am like personal information. I'm an only child, so I didn't have like the experience that a lot of people had like growing up having to share, having to compromise, having to do stuff like that. Like I'm not an outrageous person, but like it is a little harder for me to see the side of another person because I just didn't have to do that growing up. It was just me and my parents. And that forced me, like when I was older, getting into relationships and stuff like that, not just like romantic relationships, but like personal relationships with other people. As an adult, I had to really step back and think about like, why is it that I always cast myself as innocent in the stories that I create? Like in the bullshit that I create, I cast myself as the innocent person who has done nothing wrong even though I am the author and architect of the fucking situation that I'm in. That's what Brit does. And that's why I can't fuck with her, because she's so fucking annoying. Like, what are you talking? At least Anna got the excuse of being fucking crazy, right? She being haunted by a ghost. And so that's why she casted herself as innocent in her bullshit. But Brit don't got no mental problem. Her mental problem is herself. Her mental problem is that she don't got no sense. She ain't got no perspective. She ain't got nothing that like centers herself and says, let me think about what I'm doing and how I could be better. It's all, I am a victim, and I can't imagine why this woman who has been tortured by both of my parents, and lied to by me several times. I tortured her granddaughter. I don't understand why she wouldn't want to drop everything and help me and my mother who tortured her. Girl, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would she want to help you? You are a villain in her story. You might not be a villain in your fucking story, but in her story, you and every goddamn member of your family, except Nathan, are villains. You are bad. That's why she don't want to fucking talk to you. And so Britt goes away, I think Felicia pops up like, girl, what you doing? The fuck is wrong with you? And then she's like, your friend is what's wrong. And then she leaves. And Felicia's like, look, she going through some stuff, Obviously, she was dealing with Spy Hospital, just like you. And then Carly kicked her out of Bobby's. So I went and got her an apartment so she wouldn't be homeless. And Ghost Peter popped up. He just popped up and said, I told you, Anna, you can't trust any of these hoes. Look at this behavior. And now Anna's gonna be nice to Britt so she can kill her. Yeah. Yeah, we being nice to Britt so we could kill her. She gonna be like, you know what, Britt, you right. I was out of pocket. Let me see what I could do. But I can't call you, and I can't leave no notes, and I can't leave no text messages or emails. I don't want any paper trail that I was ever talking to you. So you gonna have to meet me in the darkest, most shady part of Port Charles. Is that okay? And Britt being a dodo bird is just like, yeah, that sounds great. Thank you so much. Girl, girl, she's done nothing but tell you that you just like your raggedy daddy and your raggedy brothers. And now all of a sudden she wanna be nice to you. She wanna be nice to you, and she wanna take you to dark, shady alleys where it's hard to trace. Okay, girl. Good luck. Good luck. But that was Anna's haunted hospital. That's what's happening there. Let's go to Spy Hospital. So Spy Hospital is in a death spiral. It's very funny to me that everybody's like, Mob Hospital's coming to an end. What are we gonna do when Mob Hospital ends? We'll never fucking know, because that's not the hospital that's ending. Like, it's clearly Spy Hospital, because they're not talking about it. They're just acting like it's still happening, but we're watching it implode on itself in a death spiral, like in real time. And so Jocelyn invites Brennan to breakfast so she could get another assignment. They see Valentine at the Metro Court restaurant. They're not happy. They're like, Valentine. He's talking to Jordan. We'll get over it. We'll talk about it when we're at Black Hospital. But Brennan is like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, there's not gonna be any new assignments, you stupid slut. They're shutting the studio down. In reality, he's just like, nah, you ain't ready. You ain't ready. You got shot. You were out here killing people. Like, seasoned agents would need to take some time off. You gonna take some time off. She, like a petulant child, is like, well, I guess I'll just take that job that my dad offered me. He's like, what job? What are you talking about? And she's like, well, my dad doesn't want me to be in the WSB, so he offered me Jack's Enterprises to run, and so I might go do that. First of all, you sound like a child. You sound like a child. So if he don't give you an assignment, you just gonna go run your daddy's company? Then run it, girl. They're running. Who are you threatening? That's your boss. Like, girl. But Brennan is like, that's us. Where your dad at? Where's your dad? And she's like, he's circumnavigating the globe. Brennan is immediately like, that's sus. That's sus. You don't think that's sus? That your dad just left you a company and then up and disappeared? You can't even contact him? Like, you can't even send him a seagull or a carrier pigeon to go talk to him, that's sus. And so now I'm with Brennan, like it's sus that Jax disappeared. And why are we talking about Jax? Once more, are we killing Jax or are we recasting Jax? We about to have like an uptick in Australians on this show because we already got Dr. Spy. Um, I guess we'll see. We'll see. But the only other time that we see Brennan is we do see him in the scene with Nina where she uses him as a talk to because that's his function in her story now, is just being a talk to. And then he runs into Alexis after she gets into it with Drew about Scout. Like Drew was popping off like you were talking shit about me to Scout. Alexis like I was not talking shit about you to Scout. Like I don't even know, did Scout say that? Because I don't think she did. But Drew was like, I don't give a fuck. You let her see Danny, and so you and Danny are out. Fuck you. And Brennan came up like, bro, do you need to make more enemies? I feel like you got so many enemies. People out here shooting you. You people don't even like you. You can't get your Congress job back. You a former congressman. That really rubbed Drew the wrong way. He was like, you don't have to put that former in front of congressperson. You know that, right? That like once you're a congressperson, it's like you always a congressperson, even if you're not in office. Brennan was like, yeah, former congressperson, what's good? And so he's like, you need to make more enemies. Drew looked Brennan right in his eye and said, if you gonna rock my world, sir, then rock it. Then rock it, sir, because if you're not, we ain't got nothing to say. I got nothing to say to you. I'm gonna go see my daughter. Don't follow me, Alexis. And so then he, it was so funny. I was like, those are the moments where I kind of like Evil Drew. We'll talk more about Evil Drew in Teen Hospital, but Brennan sits down, and Alexis is like, if you got something on this man, just give it to me. Like, what you got on this man? And it's very much giving like, no, he wants to ask her about Valentine. He's like, well, what do you know about Valentine? She's like, I'm not telling you. That's my brother cousin. That's my brother cousin. Even if I knew stuff, which I don't, because my brother cousin knows not to get me in his bullshit. Okay, we got a good relationship. He knows I love him. He loves me. But I'm not trying to be in the shenanigans with him. And so even if I knew something about my brother cousin, I'm not telling you, you old bitch. Not unless you helping me take Drew down. And apparently you pledged your loyalty to fucking delusional hospital. So get out of here, bitch. And so I don't think anything's coming from that. But that is the reason why I feel like Spy Hospital's in a death spiral. Because like this man ain't got nothing to do. He's like the linchpin of Spy Hospital right now because Anna's over here either a Law and Order hospital or she's in her own haunted hospital. Jocelyn got 100 hospitals she could join. She's in young adult hospital. She's adjacent to mob hospital. She could be in, random. I have to make up some type of hospital for the businesses, but the businesses don't matter. They don't deserve a hospital right now. But hey, maybe we pop those back up. Jason talk about EOQ, deception popping up. You got Jax Enterprises. Maybe we make some type of business hospital. Should be in that. But Spy Hospital, we used to have scenes at the WSB where this man was just doing like cutaway scenes of like setting up Spy Hospital stories. And now he just running around being a random bitch's stories because they, conceivably couldn't delete the scene because it's important to the character whose scene he's in's larger story. Like he needs to be there with this Jocelyn stuff so we can move the what the hell's happening with Jack's stuff forward. He needs to be here to be talked to Nina so we can get her little side thoughts on how she don't agree with Willow. And then she got to be here with Alexis to witness this Danny Drew nonsense happening. And so there's like nothing Spy Hospital adjacent that's just about Spy Hospital anymore. And then we have Whitey's African Warlord being firmly placed in a mob hospital. Like, this is not a joint mob hospital, spy hospital story anymore. This is very much just about to be mob hospital. Maybe we keep spy hospital alive long enough to honor Robert, but I feel like we sending it to the great beyond with him. Like, we shutting it down with him. But I could be wrong about all of it. Y'all know these are just speculations, they're just guesses. So let's move on. Let's go to Law and Order Hospital. That's where Whitey's African Warlord is currently. And we learned this week, this is going to be really short. We learned that he took a deal so we could set up the next mob hospital storyline. Like you apparently now you could put like international charges, federal charges, and state charges all in one package, and instead of getting like 979,000 years, he only got 31 years. 26 with good behavior. And so for all that, for whole ass terrorism, he was building a bomb under his house that was gonna blow up all of New York. But he only got 31 years for that. Yeah. Yeah. And then we had some throwaway line because they realized they had to like close this out where Molly tells Cody that Whitey's African warlord was the one who put Maxie in that coma. And he also, the charges for doing that are also in that 31 years. Put a woman in a whole ass coma on top of building a bomb that could destroy all of New York as a state. Like not even New York City, New York State. But he only got 31 years for that. And Curtis Ashford got 10 for punching somebody one time. One time. Crazy. Crazy. But that's happening at Law and Order Hospital. It's important to have that information as we go into the other hospitals. So let's go to Teen Hospital. So Rocco, Charlotte, Danny, and Scout's individual hospitals are merging to become Teen Hospital. Because I don't have time to talk about them as separate stories anymore. They're all kicking it with each other and beefing with each other and falling in love with each other, regardless of whether or not that's appropriate. But they are now Teen Hospital, and Teen Hospital's sole mission is to destroy Drew for ruining their summer, which I kind of love. It's a very teenage way to think. Like, damn, this man is really ruining our summer. So that's their sole mission. But they do have little side missions to fight each other and be hypocritical at all times. Like anytime they need to be a hypocrite, they will be. They do not give a shit. So let's start with Rocco. So Rocco is mad at Charlotte for wanting to live with her dad, even though he don't like her and doesn't want her to live with him. Yeah. Yeah. Like Lulu and Laura call Charlotte and Rocco, and Lulu's like, hey girl, you can live with your dad if you want, because I don't give a fuck. Like, I love you, but I don't want to fight you all the time. And so you go be down the street. Rocco pops off. Rocco pops off. And it's like, how fucking dare you? How dare you? How dare you abandon our mother like this? Like, after all she did for you, she was in a coma. I'm like, didn't you flee the country with Britt without telling that same mother that you're talking about? Like, didn't you do that? Because she's not fleeing the country. She's not going to, like, Belize or anything like that. She's going down the street. But now you out here, you feel some type of way. Laura goes to talk to him, and it's kind of like, what you mad about? Like, what you mad about? Are you mad that Charlotte's leaving your mom? Or are you mad she's leaving you because you don't even like her? Done nothing but fight with her for months and months and months. And he was like, well, she took Danny's side and I feel like I'm losing her. Okay. Okay. I can't keep up with Rocco. I can't keep up with Rocco, to be honest. But he leaves, and we go back with Lulu and Charlotte is so funny because she done nothing but be like, I want to live with my dad. It's me and my dad. I like my dad more. I don't know why you don't understand that. This is crazy. And now that Lulu's like, yeah, you go live with your dad because I don't have time to fight with you like that anymore. She's like, you know that I love you though, right? Like, now I'm gonna miss you. Now I miss you. Girl, we can't keep up with you. We cannot keep up with you. You want to live with your dad or not? Go live with that man. Stop it. But okay, so those are the Lulu siblings. Oh my god, Lulu's children. Lulu's entire story is just being hated by her children. It's crazy. It it's absolutely maddening. But you got Danny and Scout. They're out here at the pool being siblings, having a little towel fight. When Drew shows up to just be a complete asshole, like, stay away from my daughter. Like, what is this? Jason shows up and he's like, can I talk to you for a second? Like, can I talk to you? The kids disperse, not together, obviously, and Jason tries to be like, can you just be cool? Like, why you gotta be doing this? Like, you've been through a lot. You were out here locked in. I've been through a lot. I was in an Indonesian gulag, and now we're both out of that shit. So why can't we just be cool? Drew is like, nah, because you are a fucking criminal. That's why we can't be cool. Jason's like, I'm not a criminal anymore. Like, I gave that shit up. I quit. Drew's like, how's that gonna work? Huh? How's that gonna work? You still Jason Morgan? You still got beef with people? People still got beef with you? Like, so you just supposed to quit? You didn't work at a Wendy's? What do you mean you quit? You don't quit being a fucking criminal. And so we're setting up the groundwork that Mob Hospital can never end, and that Sonny and Jason can never leave, no matter how much they want to. Are y'all seeing that? Are you peeping that? Because Drew's not gonna be the only person to bring up this reality that Sonny and Jason are too in it to ever fucking leave. But Jason is trying to be like, listen, I'm out. And so that excuse you had of me being too dangerous is not an excuse no more. Drew is like, I disagree. And I kind of have to be Team Drew on that. Because, like, it's actually crazy for you to think you just quit like this is a Wendy's. It's not a Wendy's. You are still a danger. The fact that you ain't got a gun on you makes me more nervous. But Jason's just talking to Drew does nothing. Scout later ends up seeing Rocco. They're getting closer. The Sante siblings are dead, unfortunately. But they're getting closer. Scout ends up admitting that her wanting her dad to get out of the wheelchair was a monkey paw wish. Yeah. Yeah, and it's gotta suck. Like, to be 14, you've already lost a parent. Your other parent gets gravely injured. And so it's like half losing them, right? Like, you lost them in a sense, but they're still alive. But because they're still alive and they were able to get better, you actually got to experience your life without them and then have them return. And then you come to the conclusion that your life was actually better without them. That's got to be fucking horrifying. Like, as a kid, to realize, like, damn, my life was better when you were locked in. That's insanity. Um, and I thought it was such a good performance. And here comes Rocco, also giving a good performance. Finn gives excellent performances. It's more the dialogue that comes out of his mouth. But here comes Rocco to annoy the shit out of me by trying to compare his parents' genuine concern for him about like what he's willing to do for and with Britt to Drew using Scout as a weapon against his enemies, all of whom happen to be Scout's family. Like, the hypocrisy's crazy. Like, why are you comparing Dante and Lulu to this man? What? Okay. Sure, whatever. But Scout he pretty much, like, she swears Rocco to secrecy about what she said about wanting Drew, that having a better life when Drew was locked in. And so he will definitely be throwing that in Drew's face at some point. I don't know when. I don't, maybe it's what snaps him back to reality, which balances out his character and gets him out of delusional hospital, because like finding out that your daughter is wishing you back into the wheelchair, that's got to do something to this man, right? Like, okay, we can only hope. And so, final thing happening at teen hospital is you got Charlotte later in the week sort of enticing Danny to start a war with Drew. This is gonna backfire. Oh, there's one more thing with Rocco and Scout. Rocco suggests that they start like sneaking around to meet up. And I'm so confused by this because like you're allowed to see her. Like, you're one of the few people allowed to see her. You don't have to sneak around. And so you're just choosing to sneak around. So when Drew catches you, you can be on the list of people who aren't allowed to fucking see her. Like, I just don't understand this plan. What are you guys trying to do that you would need to sneak around? Like, it would make sense if Rocco were helping Danny to see Scout, but he's not. He's literally just sneaking out to see her when he does not have to, and he's causing more problems. And when we couple that with Charlotte over here being like, Danny, you should start this war with Drew. People were trying to kill him, and so you should lean into that. And it's seeming like she want to do to Drew what she did to Anna. And I'm like, girl, how did that work out for you? Like, how did that work out for you? Because I'm pretty sure it ended with you getting a bullet to the chest from a WSB agent. And so I don't know what's about to happen there, but she was whispering in his ear, like Rhaenyra telling Alan to murder the High Septon. Like, we are Cassadines. You are the blood of Cassadine Island. Take orders from Quartermaine strays. Girl, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? But that was Teen Hospital. That was Teen Hospital. Let's go to Young Adult Hospital. Yeah. So Jocelyn is also in Young Adult Hospital. And early in the week, she goes over to her mom's house to cuss her out for telling her dad that she's a spy. And I'm confused. I am confusion because Joss is telling anyone who will listen that she's a spy. Like, she out here updating her LinkedIn information and everything. So who cares who Carly tells? What the hell? Jax is gonna find out anyway. All he needs to do is go to the LinkedIn page where you're just like professional spy for the WSB. Like, you tell anyone. You told generic white man number 5. You couldn't wait to tell that man. But now Jax don't know? Like, what are we talking about? And so Carly's pretty much like, yeah, I told him, but that's all. Don't come into my house slamming doors, girl. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, she's like, well, why are you trying to control my life? Girl, why do you think that your parents are okay with you being in the spy organization? Like, the way she goes about this is so silly. And why are you talking to your mama about some stuff that has to do with your dad? Like, your parents aren't together. And so get out her house. But Valentine is so funny because he's like, well, it seems like a great opportunity. Carly's like, yeah, it's a great opportunity. You should do that. And Joss is like, no, I'm going to find someone to run it for me because I don't want it. Valentine's like, so that's a really important company. And people come in and chop that company up, sell for parts, sell for pieces. Is that what you want? Um, she's like, I'll just be very careful. Valentine's like, if you need some help with that new job, let me know. Let me know, girl, because Spy Hospital's a bust. That's just going down like the Titanic. Like, you don't want to be over there. And Joss is like, you said that you would break up the company. I'm going to go talk to Michael. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. But later in the week, Jocelyn is with generic white man number 5 at the pool for another sparring match about this stupid company. And this man, who we know is abusive, so it's hard to even get into him because, like, you had pregnant women fleeing in the night from him. He watched, like, Ethan get his ass beat from the head to the feet by him. And now I gotta watch him call her a stupid, spoiled bitch. And I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't see it for generic white man number 5. You need to give him more of a backstory because all he is violence and attitude, and that's not appealing. He's not even, like, charming or anything. He's just violence and attitude. I don't like that. I don't like that. And so we also have Trina and her singing career in Young Adult Hospital, and it is triggering BOQ's guilt over not causing that accident that scarred up Jordan's face. And it's making Emma crazy because now she can't go camping. So let's start with the Black Hospital of it all. So when can we hurry up and end this? Can we just hurry up and end this? Can everybody find out that Brooklyn didn't do anything wrong and then tar and feather her for it so we can move past it? Like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Like, her feeling guilty about not doing anything to Jordan and Curtis and then getting Trina this singing career. And then I'm gonna have to watch Chase and Geo and Trina read her for filth for some shit that Curtis did, because everything that happened post car accident that was Jordan's fault was Curtis's fault. Like, at no point did he need to do any of the things that he did, and Brooklyn's not responsible for this man that's clearly 15 years older than her. And so I need us to hurry up and get past this because I'm sick of being stuck in this limbo with Chaylin and with Trina and Geo and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to deal with this anymore, to be honest. This is me personally. Like, just let people find out that it happened, move past it, and then we can move on from it. Because this accident is trash. And it's just a setup for a mob hospital story that Shayla's not even going to be in. So let's move past it. But yeah, that's happening. Chase is like, do you want me to investigate who didn't cause the accident since we all fucking know it was Jordan? Do you want me to do that, Trina? All right. All right. On the other side of that Emma is like out here trying to go camping with Gio and realizing that dating a musician sucks because Gio literally will not make plans with her. I'm like, is it that he don't want to make plans with her, or is it that he don't want to go camping? Is that what's happening? Because I'm from a city too. Like Gio's from New York. He grew up in Bensonhurst. I'm from LA. I grew up in the city of LA, not like an outer line suburban neighborhood of it. I grew up in LA. And so I don't like camping either. I went to UC Santa Cruz for undergrad and I would be with people and they'd be like, let's go camping. And I'm like, no. I would not like to do that. I don't even like to go outside. UC Santa Cruz is built into a mountain lion reserve. I was like, what are we doing out here? What are we doing out here? There are mountain lions outside. There were just deer outside, and the deer are terrifying. I know people think, like, oh my God, deer, that must be so beautiful. It must be so majestic. No, it's not. Because you got, like, at fall is rutting season. So you got these deer with these, like, 6 foot long antlers all staring at each other, ready to squabble up while you try to walk to class. And it's like, are y'all gonna start charging each other when I walk down this path? Because y'all are mean mugging each other on each side of the fucking path. Right? And then in spring, you got all the mama deers with their babies, and their mama deers are evil as shit. Don't you get near that baby. Don't you do it. They'll beat the shit out of you. All right? They got like raccoons everywhere. Raccoons everywhere. So I work at UC Santa Barbara, and the students there, they see like 1 or 2 raccoons like maybe every 6 months, and they're like, we should change our name from the Gaujos to the Raccoons because there's so many raccoons. I said, y'all are tripping. Y'all are tripping. I went to UC Santa Cruz. There are raccoons everywhere. Everywhere. Not every 6 months you see a raccoon. Every fucking day you see a raccoon. They are in the garbage cans. They're in the dining halls. They're teaching classes. They're fucking everywhere. And we didn't change our name to the raccoons because we were the banana slugs because those are everywhere. And this is not a fake animal, by the way. Some people thought it was fake. Look up banana slug. When I tell you this is like an 8-inch bright yellow slug that'll just pop up on your wall. You don't even know how it got in the fuck in your house. You're like, how'd you get in here? You do not fit through any hole in any place that exists in this building. Why are you inside? That's crazy. And so I'm Phil Geo. I hate camping. But if you don't want to go camping, just tell her that. Instead of making her feel like you don't want to hang out with her. Just be like, listen, I'm a city boy. I don't want to go camping. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in the woods. I'm not interested in animals like that. I'm not interested in pretending to be unhoused for a few nights. I would like to be in a hotel with a mini bar, with a restaurant, with like activities and things to do, and people and places, and your shoes and ships and sealing wax and cabbages and kings. I don't want to go camping, girl. Because it feels more like that, like you don't want to go camping. And so I'm sorry for that long diatribe side rant about camping, but I really think that's what it is. That if she was like, would you like to go to Boston for a few days, he'd be down. He'd be like, yeah, I can go to Boston. Let's go do that. But because she keeps saying, like, let's go to the middle of the woods, he's like, nah, girl, I'm busy. I'm songwriting. I'm songwriting. Emma ends up talking to Anna about this. And Anna's like, girl, dating a musician's hard. Dating a musician's hard, girl. It gets better. It'll get better. Anna ended up dumping that musician. I think he dumped her, actually. I'm not sure. Y'all can correct me in the comments. But what are we doing with Emma? Like, really? What are we doing with Emma? Like, they're not even giving her a forward facing job on the show. Because I'm not saying that, like, being a vet is bad. Like, that's a really good job. We need to take care of the animals. Like, we're the ones who be putting them in situations, so it's our job to take care of them. And why not make her a doctor, given who her parents are and that this is a show called General Hospital? Like, because then at least she could be a hospital, kicking it up with hospital, doing hospital stuff. But instead, she's just out here like, do you want to go camping? And we got to watch her boyfriend be like, no, I'm kicking it with someone else. So that was Young Adult Hospital. That's what's happening there. And so let's go over to Mob Hospital really quick. So no one's leaving the mob. Can I just make that really clear? No one's leaving the mob. And you know how I know no one's leaving the mob? Because they won't shut the fuck up about it. They will not shut up about it. Sunny and Jason are telling anybody who will listen. They're like Jocelyn telling people she's a spy. They're just pulling random people off the streets to be like, do you know that I'm leaving the mob? Yeah, I'm not a mobster anymore. I ain't got no gun on me. I'm a safe person, girl. I'm very safe. Like, nothing wrong with me. Like, I'm a safe, law abiding citizen. We are out the mob. Suddenly, like, I'm a coffee importer. I import coffee. I know I've been saying that for years. It's true now, though. It's true. All I do is import coffee. That's all I fucking do. And everybody, with the exception of a select few, who are just like delusional about this, like, no offense, Tracy. She's like, oh my God, Malika and Alan wanted this for so long. Everybody else is like, so how's that gonna work? So how's that gonna work? Drew said it, Rick said it, Horny DA said it. Like, how are you just gonna stop being a criminal? Like, why are you acting like your criminal enterprise is a footlocker? And you were just like a shift lead, and now you could just quit and start your job at like Farmers Insurance. What are we talking about? Y'all are internationally renowned criminals. You were they used to have scenes where Sonny would be in a different country and flex that he's Sonny Corinthos, and people would move. People would be like, oh shit, that's it. Jason would do the same thing. Jason would be like, you don't see the black t-shirt? I'm Jason Morgan. And then people are like, oh dip, it's Jason Morgan. How are y'all getting out? How are y'all getting out? And why do you keep telling everybody? Why do you keep this seems like a terrible plan. They're telling anyone who they changing their LinkedIn pages. Like, not no longer in the mob. Law abiding citizen. So how is the entire five families not run up on them yet? Where are the woos? So run up, get like, run up, get done up kind of stuff. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. I'm confusion. But we had Sonny telling Rick, and Rick was like, how's that gonna work? And Sonny's like, don't even trip. We're gonna buy Stilwell's properties, his legit properties. I got my legit properties. We're going legit. We doing it. And then eventually Rick's like, yeah, that sounds great. Love that shit. And then Sonny's like, you gotta be the new Jason. You gotta be the new Jason in the intern period before I go clean. Rick is like, bruh, what does that mean? What does that mean? I don't own a gun. I don't own anything like that. Like, what are we talking about? And Sonny's like, no, 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 no. I just need you to tell me the truth. That's what Jason was doing. He was telling me the truth. I don't need you to have a gun. Don't even worry about that. And Rick, he been waiting his whole life for this. He has really been waiting his whole life for this. He's living. He's just like, yeah, I love that shit. But apparently he's gonna be crashing out next week over Dante. So sad. So we hate to see it for the lyric fans, but I guess Rex is rising. Rex's fans, you up. You up, Rex's. And so we also have Sunny telling Horny DA and being like, well, now that I'm a coffee importer on the up and up, you want to date me? And she was like, nope. Nope, I do not want to date you. I'm so sorry, girl. Like, or so sorry, man. You still a criminal. Like, you didn't break up. Like, you acted like you were just managing a Ruby Tuesdays. You were running an entire criminal organization, and everybody knows about that. So obviously, I can't date you and still do what I do. And he was like, whatever. Okay, as long as we can just hit it and quit it at the room above Charlie's, I don't give a shit. So whatever. I'm trying to get Carson back anyway. I don't give a fuck. And finally, we get Jarly. You got a Jarly scene. So Jason and Carly speaking about Jason be out the mob, and Jason being like a 58-year-old man trying to start a new career, and they were trying to like workshop what he could do. Like, maybe I could, do this, or maybe you could do that, or maybe you could start a garage. And he's like, no, I just fix cars for fun. And then she was like, maybe you could go do ELQ stuff. Like, you got so much to offer ELQ. What does Jason have to offer ELQ? What does he have to offer ELQ? What is he offering Ned and Michael? Like, I want to see Ned's face when he's like, I'm gonna work at ELQ. We do see that next week he's playing for ELQ, and I'm gonna say I was a little offended by that. You ain't got to play for Corinthos Coffee, but like, you playing for the ops is crazy. You play for the ops is crazy. So you gonna play against us? So you gonna play? So you didn't just leave? You opping with us now? That's crazy. That's crazy. But I am calling. I could be 100% wrong, like the Spy Hospital thing. I don't think Mob Hospital's ending. I think it's crazy to think that it's ending. Like, ain't no fucking way it's ending. Nope. And so let's go to Black Hospital. So Curtis is going to jail. Curtis is going to jail. This is the long, stupid arm of justice edition. And I'm ambivalent because I wanted him to go to jail. I think the sentencing is fucking crazy. But I'm also just very uncomfortable with how okay I am watching this black man go to jail with this really unfair, harsh sentence. Like, it is a third of what White East African Warlord got for whole ass terrorism. Like, for a laundry list of crimes that he had, ranging from just municipal, like, jaywalking tickets to whole ass international terrorism, he only got 31 years. Curtis punched somebody one time, had no intent to destroy his hand, right? Didn't even come there to fight him. Just sort of happened upon him, punched him. He fell back into a table, and now this man got 10 years. Yes, he got 10 years because of his own audacity and arrogance. 100%. Because I'm going to talk about this trial. Outrageous trial. Martin should be disbarred, to be honest. Like, terrible defense. And this is all Curtis's fault. This is all Curtis's fault. Like, I've never seen a person less at fault. And so before we go to the courtroom, let's do Jordan. So Jordan learns that Valentine is the one who helped Curtis save her. And now she's about to go work for him at Mob Hospital. I'm like, girl, why are you so mobbed up? Why is Jordan so mobbed up? It's one of the reasons that makes her very unlikable to me, because she's supposed to be this like holier than thou, like, I am, I have the high ground on so many things with Mob Hospital, with Whitey's Advocate Warlord, with Portia, with all these people, but she does nothing but work for criminals, and she enjoys working for criminals. Like, she's not like, oh, I can't believe I was a part of, like, the things that Sidwell and Cullen were doing. She's like, I've just never felt so alive doing it. Why y'all writing her like that? Why y'all writing her like that? And then Valentine is telling her how he literally saved her life. And apparently her life is only worth, like, a handful of information. If she wants the rest of the information, he gotta pay her. That's weird. That's weird. That's a weird way to write her. Like, why are you writing her like that? I feel like it was so easy to just have her want to go back to her old life in Law and Order Hospital. Have Valentine kind of corner her and be like, hey, I need your help with the Stilwell stuff because you were working for him. She's like, yeah, that's all I got. And then he kind of tries to be like, hey, you got more information than you think, and you pretty good at this. Maybe you should do that. And that's hanging over her right before we learn that Stilwell and Curtis are roommates, are little cellmates at Pentonville, and he threatening to chop Curtis's head off if she don't work for him on the side. And that's why she takes the job for Valentine. As opposed to, I just love working for fucking terrorists. Like, but whatever. I don't like Jordan enough to try to fix her character more than that at this point. But that happens. Then Curtis shows up. Jordan tells him about the job. He's kind of like, yeah, if you want to do that, girl, I don't care. Let's talk about how I'm about to be found not guilty. And I'm going to keep Isaiah from Hat Baby. And then we're going to put everything from that night behind us. I'm like, if you didn't do what you did in the first place, you wouldn't be on trial. If you could have put that night behind you in the first place, none of this would be happening. None of this would be happening. And so it's hard to like deal with Curtis. Excuse me. It's really hard to deal with Curtis when it's like none of this needed to happen. You never had any proof. Like, Isaiah will still be just as guilty, according to you, if you are found not guilty, but now you just want to put that behind you. That doesn't make any sense. You don't get to do that. You don't get to say, fuck what the police say, fuck what the DA says. I'm taking justice into my own hands. And now that has, like, the consequences of that have come upon you, now you want to move forward? That's not how this works. That's not how this works. And there was a better way to write Curtis, because like I said, I think last week or a couple weeks ago, they put him in a situation where he had no choice but to go to court because they were going to put him in jail regardless. It's not like they were offering him community service. He said, no, I'm an innocent man. Y'all were going to put him in jail anyway. And so there were better ways for us to do this. Um, Portia talks to Isaiah and tells her that, you know, or tells him that she's ambivalent towards all of this because she does want him to get the justice he seeks. But Curtis going to jail doesn't really work for her because, like, she got kids with him. But what works for her doesn't fucking matter because Curtis is found guilty. He's found guilty, and the judge just immediately gives him 10 years. I watch a lot of true crime. I watch a lot of true crime stuff. This is not how court works. Like, the verdict and the sentencing are not the same trial. They're not the same fucking day, because you have to have like impact statements. Like, the judge has to hear stuff essentially because her sentence is going to be determined on a lot of things, not just like the charges, but like what people have to say. And so Isaiah would get a chance to say stuff. Portia, Had Daddy, Stella, Trina, they would all get a chance to say stuff. He could probably get Laura out there Capricorn. She's the literal mayor of this town. But instead it was like, you guilty, go to jail for 10 years, you can get out in 2. And it all happened in like a 30-second period. So he's found guilty. Curtis and Jordan are so unlikable that nobody gives a fuck that this black man got this crazy outside sentence for one punch. For one punch. Like, if this was a different character that was more humble, like, y'all had him be so arrogant. Like, I've seen tweets on the timeline that are like, literally, you will not make me feel bad for this man after having me watch him torture his ex-wife all throughout her pregnancy. You will not make me feel bad for this man after having me watch him have an emotional affair with his ex-wife for months and months and months and months and months. Not take a single lick of responsibility for that. Like, you will not make me feel bad for this man when you had me sit through this trial and watch him say, yeah, I did it, I would do it again, and you would do it too. And then I'm supposed to be surprised that he was found guilty? Martin deserves to be disbarred for allowing Curtis to do everything he did during that trial. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. He could have, there were so many different ways to do this. There were so many different ways. Like, Sonny was, when Sonny was trying to take the fall for Michael killing Claudia, he wasn't out here like, yeah, I killed her and you kill her too. He was out here like, I wasn't trying to kill her. Like, I wasn't trying to kill her. And he had to explain that whole, like, birthday speech he gave her. But he was like, listen, I was trying to find Carly. She was giving birth. I saw her walk out with the baby. I wanted her to stop. I wasn't trying to kill her. I'm so sorry that she's dead. Like, he was giving control. He was admitting guilt. So it's not like you can't admit guilt. But he was saying that what he did was not murder. Like, it was self-defense, that he was trying to, like, stop this crazed woman from kidnapping a baby. At no point did, like, Curtis make the idea that this was make the case that this was self-defense. And he never apologized. All he had to do was be like, okay, here's what happened. I have all of this, yes, circumstantial evidence, but like, it's only pointing to him. All the evidence, circumstantial or not, it points to him. He's being evasive as hell. He doesn't even try to, like, even the insinuation of trying to get to the bottom of this, he giving me a fucking attitude about it. Look at her face. And so when I came into that restaurant and I saw him putting his hands on my child, I snapped. I shouldn't have done it. I did not come in with the intent to bust this man's hand up or to prevent a child from being able to have a surgery. I never had any intent. I understand that that's what happened, but this is not a situation where I just be running around doing this. Like, it was all like very mitigated on these other circumstances, and I don't think that that warrants 10 years of jail. And you could have made that case. Now, would you have won it? We don't know. We don't know, but I feel like you would have got less time than 10 years because you literally came up and said, yeah, I did it and I do it again. Which makes you a danger. It makes you guilty and a danger to the public because you feel like you could just do that. That, like, you could just enact vigilante justice because you feel some type of way. And so I'm not going to feel bad for Curtis. And this is a setup for a mob hospital story. This is a setup for a mob hospital story because he's clearly going to be cellmates with Sidwell. He's gonna get blackmailed by Sidwell. He's gonna have to do stuff for Sidwell, or Hat Baby, Jordan, Trina are all gonna get killed. Jordan's gonna have to be doing stuff, and then everybody's trying to buy Sidwell's properties. So you have like Valentine trying to buy the property. He wants Windermere, but he could take anything that's on there. Sonny wants his peers back, but he'll also take anything on there. And then Drew just looking for something to do. Drew's looking for something to do because Willow stole his seat in Congress and Michael stole his company. And so we're all about to be in a big ass mob hospital story with Whitey Cyberkill Warlord running his mob empire from the inside. And so, because I had a whole tweet where I was like, everybody's talking like Carla Rota left. They're like, they keep getting rid of all the people. Like, they got rid of Cassius, they got rid of random sex worker, and they got rid of Sidwell. And I was like, did they get rid of Sidwell? Because I didn't hear that. I didn't see the like goodbye forever Carla Rota, and his wife's still on the show. And we learned no, he's still there. He's still on the show. Going to jail doesn't mean you're not on the show. And so that's Black Hospital. It's merging very quickly with Mob Hospital. And so we're going to have a classic Mob Hospital, Black Hospital team up. Because eventually Jordan and Curtis are going to cave and go to Sonny and Jason. And that's how we learn that we can never leave the mob. Like, honestly, I feel like this ends with like Tracy Quartermaine handing Jason his gun and his black t-shirt back personally and being like, the city needs you, Jason. Get back to counting them coffee beans. And so that's Black Hospital. The final story is in Delusional Hospital. So random sex worker drugged Willow, and Michael was like, "What the fuck, bitch?" And so he had to send her away. He had to send her away. He said that was not okay, girl. That was not okay. It's not even that I'm mad that you drugged her. It's that like you were messy with it. We can get caught. I don't like that. That's not like that's an automatic ejection from Mob Hospital and Monica's Hospital. Like you can't be sloppy, right? Being messy is fine. Being sloppy, unacceptable. And so random sex worker, she really came in like, yeah, I drugged her. It's great. It's great. It's amazing. Michael was like, bitch, what? What did you do? And she tells him that she drugged her with Molly. I'm like, could Willow not taste it in her coffee? I feel like MDMA is not odorless. It's not tasteless, is it? I don't know. Like she wouldn't felt chunks or whatever in her. I don't know. I don't know. Does it dissolve in coffee? I have no idea. But Willow was high as a kite. There were a few times where Wiley almost drank it, but he didn't. But she drank like that entire coffee. It was dancing on her own just throughout that apartment. Wiley looked pissed. And so Michael runs over there, like, let me go over there and make sure my children are okay. Willow is high as a kite, dancing, singing, and being nice to him for the first time since 2024, to be honest. And so he makes sure that she's okay, and then waits for Nina, and then takes his kids home and bounces. Just bounces. Like, we gotta go. We gotta go. He did promise Wiley that they would all do something as a family, so I'm assuming that we're gonna see that eventually. Yay. But Michael, there was a moment, by the way, let me just say, I'm kind of dark mellow rising. There was a moment between these two. It doesn't mean I don't hate Willow. I definitely hate Willow. I'm just saying I got into it. I got into it. And like people were like writing whole think pieces about why this is wrong to like this because of like all her like crimes and like listing her crimes. I was into Carson when Sonny was keeping pregnant women across the hall. I was into J Sam when Jason was lying about his loose baby with Elizabeth and Sam was watching him get kidnapped. I said, we can get past this. We can get past this. We can get through this. And so I'm just not going to be shamed for liking Dark Mellow. I've liked worse ships than what those two got going on. And like, while I want her to pay for what she did to Scout, not Drew, for what she did to Scout, because you really had Scout out here worrying about her dad like that. I don't give a fuck about what she did to Drew. I'm just saying she's abusive. That she's the abuser in their relationship. Like, let's be so fucking serious. Like, Talking about this battered woman storyline they try to give her, like she out here standing up for herself from this man. You are the drama. You're the drama in that relationship, bitch. What are you talking about? And so I'm just not gonna be shamed for liking Dark Willow because, like I said, I've liked worse. I've liked worse. And so Willow, she wakes up and immediately knows what time it is. She's like, checkmate, bitch. Checkmate. He's checkmated. Nina's kind of freaking out because she's like, look, you did some stuff. He did some stuff. His girlfriend drugged you. You tried to frame him for murder. Like, maybe we just like call it even at this point. Willow says, nay. When you checkmate a bitch, you let him know. And so she goes over there. Michael had just sent a random sex worker away. He was like, yeah, girl, you gotta go. You gotta go. I'm gonna set you up with an account. I'm gonna keep you okay, but you gotta go. She tries to be like, no, because then our relationship is just transactional. He's like, nah, girl, I'm investing in your future. Okay. I see the vision. I see what could have been if you weren't a dodo flamingo bird. And so, go glamping in Australia for the rest of your life. And she literally just left. And here comes Willow, like, give me my kids, bitch. Give my kids. Your sex worker girlfriend drugged me, and now you checkmated. Give me them kids. Michael really tries to be like, listen, we don't have to do this. Like, yes, I am checkmated, but our children love us. We should be a family. Don't do anything crazy. And like, she's like, nah, you ain't never gonna see them kids again. You hear me? You ain't never seeing them again. And guess who's in the room? Gio's in the room. And so Gio was so terrified. He was like, I just really want to leave. I just want to go. I'm trying to be a singer. I'm not trying to be here. Willow would not let him leave. She was like, no, no. I need witnesses. I need witnesses because this man's checkmated. Right? And so Gio's able to get out of there. He runs immediately to Bobby's, tells Trina and Kai that Willow about to take Michael's kids, and they finally decide to eject themselves from delusional hospital finally and tell Michael that Willow was the one who shot Drew. And so now Michael is like, checkmate, bitch. Checkmate. So he calls Willow. She don't answer. She just like, I guess the kids are ready. Let me go to the house to get the kids. She shows up. Why is this man making cookies? This man making cookies. He's like, yeah, I sent the kids upstairs. They're gonna get ready to get comfortable, to get relaxed in this house. We to make some cookies. You want some cookies, girl? She's like, no, I don't want no fucking cookies. I want to take my kids, you old bitch. What are we talking about? Michael looks her dead in her face. It says, look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain now, bitch. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he says, I know you shot Drew. I got two witnesses who said you shot Drew. She's like, so you a rich man who paid people to lie on me? Groundbreaking. He's like, it's Kai and Trina. Yeah. Your assistant, Kai. And so now she kind of panicking. Some people were like, why did Michael burn out Trina and Kai? Because she needs to know it's not some random person who could be paid off. That's why. And what's she about to do? She gonna kill Trina and Kai? He's literally got affidavits where they're accusing her of murder. And so she becomes the number one suspect in their murder. And so I got why he did that. But he essentially tells her that they can keep the custody agreement the way it is, where he has 60, she has 40, but she got to move back to the gay house because he gonna keep an eye on her, and he wants her passport. And as far as I'm concerned, he's now the new member of the House of Representatives. Like, he running her seat, he running her life, he owns her. Like he said, he's the captain now, bitch. And so now she living back at the Q's, except Michael don't run that. That's Tracy's house. And so he got to convince Tracy. Tracy's like, if you don't stop playing and put that hoe in jail, I don't have time for this. I do not have time for this. Stop playing. Michael's like, listen, my kids need their mother, and I need to keep her close so I can watch her. And so this is what we have to do. Like, this is what we're doing. I didn't hate it. I know some people were really mad that she was implying that she was a good mother. My explanation for this is that this man was raised in Mob Hospital with Sonny and Carly as parents. And if he's judging the choices a mother makes versus their love for their children, then he's going to have to start being more mad at Carly. And so, in his crazed, damaged mind, growing up in Mob Hospital with these two damaged people as parents, this is like she is a good mother. Like there is not a fine line. There is an extreme distinction between being a terrible person and being a terrible parent at Mob Hospital. And so, Jason's a terrible parent, but he's not that bad of a person, right? Where Sonny's actually decent parent, but he's a terrible person. And so there's a distinction between like loving your kids and being a terrible person. And like those things don't overlap for Mob Hospital. And so I got what Michael was saying, that like his kids want their mom and he's going to do what he can for the kids because she loves the kids. They love her. And so does it make sense? No. Do I agree? No. But I understand it. I understand it. But that's pretty much the week. Once again, if you like this, please feel free to like, subscribe. It supposedly really helps my channel. Supposedly, I just want to know what happens when I get to 500. But thank you so much. I will see you guys next week. Bye.